In a world obsessed with material wealth and the constant pursuit of happiness, have we lost sight of what truly matters? We'll talk a little bit about that today. My name is June and this is Noble Book Review. Hi everyone, wherever you are around the world, I hope you're having a fabulous day. In today's episode, we will be looking at The Power of Meaning, Crafting a Life That Matters by Emily Asfahani Smith. Now, this book was read and discussed by the Read Aloud Book Club here of Singapore, of which I am proudly a member. Now, I've learned quite a fair bit from this book and I thought I'd share it with you as well. The book begins with some startling yet disturbing statistics. Now, in a study conducted in 2014, it was reported that people from wealthier nations were happier than those in the poorer nations. Okay, so you say nothing surprising there. However, when it comes to the levels of meaning, and we're talking about, if people felt that their lives had a purpose, had a meaning, the reverse was true. People from the poorer nations ranked higher than those in the wealthier nations. Now, going a little bit further from there, we also find that the suicide rate in wealthier nations was significantly higher than those in the poorer nations. So we're wondering, is it because, I'm not sure. Well, what does it say? People are wealthier, they're happy, but they have no meaning in life and therefore they choose not to carry on? Well, reading the book a little bit further, we find that it wasn't the happiness or unhappiness that did not predict suicide. But what did, however, was meaning, or rather the lack of it. In this book, the 4 pillars of meaning are presented as belonging, purpose, storytelling, and transcendence. Research has shown that by being in a relationship or part of a group, a sense of belonging is actually the most important driver of meaning. And if you think about it, it is very much like the Maslow hierarchy of needs, right? Once we've taken care of what we need to survive and we are safe, the next thing that we're looking for is a connection, to be part of a community, to be part of society. And that can only happen when we reach out. Purpose. For me, this is a very, very important word, and it is actually one of the 3 key words that I hold very close to me to drive me to do the best that I can, and that is purpose, power, and passion. Now, people who have purpose believe that their lives are more meaningful and more satisfying. They are more resilient and motivated. This matters even more, I feel, especially to young people, because, in the course of your career or in your personal life, there will be a lot of ups and downs, and if you are too focused on only pursuing material things and short-term happiness, I feel that a lot of us will actually lose sight of what our true purpose is. And I'm not sure if people even spend time thinking about what exactly their real purpose are. In storytelling, McAdams talks about the narrative choices. Yes, guys, I've got my notes this time, I didn't lose it. Narrative choices. It's our stories that focus on extraordinary events in our lives, good or bad, because we try to make sense of our experience. Now, this is the 2 key things that I want to bring up here. And number 1 is redemptive stories. Now, redemptive stories see something positive out of negative events. People with purposeful life will look at things this way. So when even something very, very difficult or something very tough has happened in our lives, we need to interpret them as something that we can learn from, and some good, if we can, use that term loosely, some good will come out of it. The other would be contamination stories. Now, the word contamination already disturbs you, right? Okay. Now, when it comes to contamination stories, people will interpret their lives or life events as going from good to bad. I think it's important for us to actually, go through the pain and all the negative emotions. But what's important is to understand that we can overcome them, and something good can come out of that experience. We will learn, we will be stronger, and we will be better for it. When it came to transcendence, I was trying to find a way to explain it, although I have my notes here and I've written about it, but it was a wonderful video clip that featured the amazing Jane Goodall, and I think her quote in it explains it all. She says that we are all part of something bigger and we all have a role to play, and it is our choice to decide what role we are going to play, and to make it matter. Now, if you experience transcendence according to Roland Griffiths, and I got this from the book, of course, yeah. If you have an experience of transcendence, when one has a sense of the interconnectedness of all things and a stunning appreciation of life and consciousness, whether or not you come out believing in heaven or karma or an afterlife, you can recognize the depth of our ignorance in the astounding mystery of what it is to be alive and to be aware. Well, basically, one of the things that I got from this section was that we are just a small part of an overall scheme of things, of this entire universe. So sometimes we just need to take a moment to appreciate that, and to also see that while we may be only a small part in the overall scheme of things, what we can contribute and what we can do does matter, and we really should make the most out of our time here on earth. In this book, we understand that sometimes bad things happen, and sometimes very, very, very bad things happen. However, struggling through them, as I read in the book, can also push us to grow in ways that ultimately make us wiser and our lives more fulfilling. And we do so by relying on the pillars of belonging, purpose, storytelling, and transcendence. And I also believe that, when we're going through a very tough time and we come through on the other side, it also gives us an opportunity to be able to help someone else who may face the same struggles in the future. And that's another way of reaching out and creating a sense of belonging. So do you read it or skip it? Well, to be honest with you, I really struggled with the first two sections of the book. I don't know why, I just really had such a hard time. So much so that I actually downloaded the ebook and listened to some sections of it rather than to read it. I don't know what the struggle was, but for the rest of the parts, it was not too troublesome. No problem there. I really did enjoy reading it. But to be honest, there isn't anything that I felt was new in that sense, that I felt that I found from the book. I do appreciate all the stories that of the people and their experiences that was related in this book, but it I don't know, it just didn't wow me that much. I don't hate it, but then I don't think I found it life-changing either, if you know what I mean. That's all for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Remember to hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell. It's no longer enough just to be subscribed. You've got to hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on anything new. Please connect with me on my social media. I'd love to hear from you. I will be doing a little bit of traveling, so I will be vlogging those as well, taking you with me, sharing with you some of my new experiences. Until I see you again, remember to be better, noble. Bye!